Yeah, and welcome to Papastache 102. So, if we're just starting our soloing journey, welcome. You found a friendly place. We're going to take 5 basic blues licks and show them to you so you've got 5 licks at least to start with. And I'm going to tell you why those particular licks work. And I'm going to show you how to find the key that you're playing in. So, stay tuned for a wild ride. If you're just wanting more licks and you clicked on the video, there is a very in-depth video. It's simple, but it tells you chords, scales, chord shapes inside the scales, which is the key to target note soloing. So check that out. It'll give you lots of ideas over a 1-4-5 progression, which is, 20 billion blues songs. So check that out down there. It's in the description box. It's a little link. You'll see it. Check it out. I promise it'll help. So as for this, 5 basic licks. So let's get into it. All right. So maybe you're just beginning your pentatonic journey and you want some simple licks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down 5 simple blues licks in A minor pentatonic. One quick thing for a reference point, if ever you're playing in a minor key and you want to find the first position pentatonic, just look for that note of whatever the key's in. Let's take A. Look for that note on the top string, and then once you find it, that's your starting point of your first position minor pentatonic. In this case, it's going to be on the E string, A note, and then we're going to go 5, 8, A string, 5, 7. Same on the next one, D string, 5, 7. Next one, 5, 7. Back to 5, 8 on the B. And we're going to repeat what we did on the low E, on the high E, 5, 8. Okay? So. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate a little bit of bending, and if you're, new to bending, it can be scary, but, blues is bending, so we got to start somewhere. So I'll give you some simple bending runs and some sliding runs, because sliding happens all the time in the blues. So, what we're going to do is start off right from our A note on the high E string, and we're basically going to take the 5th fret, roll our finger over to get the B string 5th fret, so we got E5, B5, and then I put my pinky or your 3rd finger, whatever one's more comfortable for you, onto the 8th fret of the B, and I slid it up to the 10th fret. And add some vibrato. Now vibrato, I use my thumb as a pivot point, and I actually keep my fingers stiff. I don't do this for the vibrato. I keep my fingers stiff, and I rock my hand from this pivot point. And I use this motion to actually create the vibrato rather than fingers. Okay, so that's just how I do it if you're wanting to try it out. So we got, and why that would work over this chord is because you're starting on an A note, and then when we do this, we slide up to another A note. So it's perfect over an A minor chord. Okay, now we're going to start off on an A note and end on an A note again, and just stay in that first position minor pentatonic. So we got same thing where we're going to roll from E5 to B5, and then go back to E5, 8 on the high E, and then back to 5. Okay, so first lick. Right, we got that going. And then next one. Okay, now let's do a little bend. Okay, the next one we're going to start off on that A note again. And then with our 3rd finger or our pinky, we're going to go to the B string and do what's called a pull off. So you're striking this one note and using our finger and fret the 5th fret down here already, and when you pull that finger off, it'll fret that note for you without having to pick it twice. Now you can pick it, which is fine, but you can also do a pull off. It's good to know how to do both. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a bend with a pull off. So what we're trying to do when we bend is get this note up a whole step, which means 2 frets. So we want this note to sound like this note. Okay, so I would bend it up and then pull off to the 5th fret on the G string and then come back to the A note. One more time. Okay, so you got that. Now let's do a sliding run. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to slide into the 5th note of our scale here, or of a, you know, for right? You know, I'm using a major scale. If you're doing a chord, right? I shouldn't use the major. Scratch that part. You got the root here, the 5th here, 5th note of the scale. Okay, so we got. We're going to slide into that. So that's going to sound great over that chord. Okay, so we got. Now when we go down to this note, it's the 3rd, okay? If I'm using the octave. So when I go down to the C, that's the note in our A minor chord that makes the chord minor. It's the 3rd note of the scale. Okay, so we got sliding to the 5th, to the 3rd, so we've hit 2 of our chord tones. And then if we just slide up to D string 5 to 7, we're back at A, and we've hit all the root, the 3rd, and the 5th of our chord. So I went, and then when I slide, I like to use my 3rd finger on this first one because it sets me up perfect with my 1st finger getting the next note. And then back, and then 1st finger, and then I'm going to slide with my 3rd finger here to set me up for a new riff. Okay? So we got. Then we got. And now we have. Okay? Now what we can do is we can do one final riff and we'll bend 2 notes and we'll get to our A this way. So we're going to start and we're going to hold that one. This is the trickiest one, so I've saved the best for last. What we're going to do is we're going to bend up that G string again, try to make it to this note, a whole step, and then we're going to hit the 5th fret of the B and then the E. So we got. Now I'm going to go to that 8th fret and I'm going to try to make that one sound like the 10th fret. And the trick to those is use your other fingers for support. So we got. And then that'll get you to. And then if you hold that, now you're hitting that A note again, which works perfectly over that chord. So it's all about learning the scale shapes, the actual riffs we can know, but knowing why those riffs work. And the way you find that out is you really look at what notes that you're resolving to. That one's A, right? When we do, that one works too, right? Our sliding run, hit all 3 of the notes. So the goal is try to hit notes of those chords, from those chords as they go by in the progression. If you hit at least 1, maybe 2 of those notes from each chord as they go by, you will sound like you know what you're doing regardless of the speed. Yes! Way to go! So now you're 5 licks into your pentatonic blues soloing journey. Check the link down below. That'll help you out as well to go over all those target notes and stuff. We just started to crack the surface here on this video. That's a little bit more in depth, so check that one out. It's not on YouTube. And there's other stuff down there too, so check all those links and you feel free, browse. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for checking in. I know there's a billion channels out there and you happened to land on this one, so that is awesome. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Join. My goal is to get a giant army of awesome, fun-loving, guitar-loving people. We got 70-something thousand here. There's 100,000 over there at papastachepop. 400 plus or more, something like 415 more lessons over there. So don't be afraid to check that out. Lots of acoustic stuff. Lots more soloing stuff here. So make sure you check out all the videos here too. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the support. We'll catch you next time.